What is up, Drip community? Like a hat. So, I don't know if you noticed, I painted. Man, the wife got me working all weekend. Yeah, honey-do list. You like honey-do? I don't even like that honey-do, but like the fruit. But in this video, I'm going to talk about a lot. So, I'm going to try to keep it under 12, 15 minutes, whatever it might be. But in general, I'm going to talk about the AMA, what I really feel about it. So, I'm going to kind of start with the AMA. You know me and AMAs, man. I actually did find the time to listen to this AMA. It was on Saturday. I wasn't doing anything at home. I was actually working on a car outside. So I figured, hey, why not go check it out? So I just had it playing in the background. I'm going to talk about the good about the AMA. And the good is that the UI looks really good. I think no one will argue that the time that they're putting in and the new team, the new dev team, the newer dev team, I don't know how you want to say it, did a really good job. So whoever that is, and I think it was part of drip.draw that did the front end part, which is what you're looking at here. And I think it's awesome. I like it. I think if I'm a new user, potential new investor into the drip ecosystem, I actually do like the way it looks. So they did a really good job. Another thing is I like the fact that he talked about the on-ramp and the issues he's running into with the idea of the rate, right? So if you don't understand credit cards and the way that works, right? I didn't used to do credit card processing. It was part of another software job I worked for, but there's a lot to do on-ramp, which is you using your card. There is a lot going on there, right? There is a person who's taking a fee to administer the actual you taking the credit card as the end user. So Drip or Forex is the end user in terms of who's actually using the product, right? And then there's an actual person who's actually swiping the card, right? There's a rate. And then sometimes there's a rate per transaction, and also there's a rate for the actual credit card fee, right? So it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%. I guess on crypto, it's a little higher. I guess he was saying it was like 8 or some percent on this AMA. He's trying to get it down to like 5 or 6% because in general, it's going to be the actual fee would be for both Piggy Plinkle or Animal Farm and Drip. So he's just trying to get it right. You know what I like, and this is the good part, right, of this AMA. I like that he's sharing this information because there's a lot that goes on that we'll never know about, right? But if you don't tell the community, then how are you going to get mad or ban or do whatever the people in the chat that are asking legitimate questions of when, right? But I'm trying to think of an example that happens, but you can't get aggravated or mad or frustrated with people who obviously don't understand how to code and don't understand all the things you guys are doing, which if they would do it. But then at the same time, there's a frustration in terms of the team because everyone's asking for when. And if you don't fill in those details as the team, Forex and Ray and whatever, right? I'm just saying Ray in general, just everyone, then don't expect us to actually because you said the UI was done, right? And this was a year ago or whatever it might be. So it's kind of like this, and it kind of goes to my next point, right? So on 336 in the actual AMA, I'll just let you listen to it here.
The situation evolved, and then we came up with a better solution to make a more grand experience where we're adding layer 2, adding all these different functions. So when people think like, oh, how long does it take to make a UI? How long does it take to make this? No, it's not just a UI. So
and this is nothing against Ray, right? He is the guy for Forex, right? This is just about the communication, right? Whoever, if it was going to be Ray, Bill, Jack, Smith, whoever it is, I don't really care. The whole point I'm trying to make here with kind of leading into this part in the AMA is you can't get, we know there's a lot that goes into it, but if you don't tell us everything that you're doing, then don't get frustrated with the community because we're always asking for when. So this is when you, as Ray or Forex or whoever your team is that's doing marketing, right, goes out there and says, hey, we have these 20 things left to do, right? And we're working our damnedest to get these things done. We're going to run into issues like we all know they're going to, but don't get frustrated with us as a community when you guys say something is done and is not done. And at the end of the day, you're saying like, why is everyone asking? It will be done when it gets done. I mean, I don't think that's fair. And that's all I'm trying to say is like, don't like make it fair, right? If we don't know, how are you going to get mad at us, right? Or frustrated with us? So I think that comment is not in. We know you guys do a lot of work. I don't think anyone in the community doesn't think that. But when you say something is done, then it's done. But if you say like, if you go on there and say, hey, we're working through a couple of different designs, we like this background, but we didn't like this one. And I get you can't fill in all the details, but then tell us what's going on then, right? You guys don't say anything. And then when you do say something, it's like, we told you guys we're working on it, but that's not fair, right? So, I mean, that's just one negative comment I have about this AMA. It's like you can't do that, right? I just don't feel like that's the right way of communicating with your community is all I'm saying, right? So we're going to go on to, this is going to be a long video. We're going to 728, I think it is. Hit play.
I'm about to get into it. Do you have anything you want to say before I get into that, or we're good to go?
And we're pretty much good to go. But real quick, guys, just so you understand, like when it comes to design, you don't want to just slap up any damn image on the screen. And this is our precious drip. So
I don't think those comments are needed. We know we don't want you to slap on something. We know we don't want you to go to GoDaddy.com and pick a template. We know we don't want you to go to Canva, or we know we don't want you to copy paste from another UI. I think those comments are kind of like, yeah, we know that. So that's why you've been taking a year to do whatever you're doing, right? But then if you're doing all that stuff, then just let us know what you're doing and where your roadblocks are, and I think everyone would be okay with that. Everyone, I'm going to go to the good. Like I said, the UI looks good. The on-ramp, I'm glad he's open about that. I think a couple things I want to get to, and then we'll kind of close this out because I don't want to make this too long, is right around 4351 when he talks about when. And this is a big deal.
The goal is to, this week coming up, I'll just say it. Right? This is not, I know sometimes when I say something like this, you guys think that, well, that's it, it's set in stone. But I'll just tell you, just so you guys have an idea for the time window we're looking at. We're looking at a launch date of 4 weeks. Oh! So that's what we're looking at. So
I don't know why that's that hard, right? And before I get into my comment, I'm going to move to 4556. So basically, he's just saying 4 weeks from now, right? 4 weeks from Saturday, right? So right here at 4556, sorry, 45, not 44.
But as you guys can see, the vast majority, basically all of the work is done. The contracts are done. All of the products are completed. The design is completed. The UI is completed. It's just a matter of wiring the products to the new design, which takes about a week, and testing DDD, and just making sure that everything is fully tested. So, I could say 4 weeks pretty confidently, but I don't want to give a date and then have something come up and not be able to hit it. So, for me, it's just important that when we give a launch date, it's the real launch date, and we're able to, without a shadow of a doubt, meet that launch date. So the plan is right now that on Monday, we're going to have...
It's crazy to me. I think the community, all we really wanted was an idea of a launch. And I think it's their... Maybe it's Forex perfection. Like he's a perfectionist and he doesn't want to release anything that's not done. But the communication with the community is horrible because it's this idea of that why is it so hard to give a 4-week number? I think we would all be happy. I think everyone's really happy that he just gave 4 weeks and they'll hold him to it. So if you listen to the rest of this AMA, it's crazy. Ray goes back on there and say, hey, don't hold us to that date, whatever. This is we want to make sure we give you date. This is the date. But we all know Forex, right? Because we get on those dates and the clock starts running whenever he sets up the timer and we have issues, right? So it's kind of like don't tell us on the AMA that we don't ever want to give a date until we're totally ready. So that's why we never give a date. But then when we give a date, we give a timeline or a clock starts on that website, he runs it, then we don't even launch because there's something they found out, right? It's like, it's great that they gave the 4 weeks. So I don't want to look at it as like a negative video. It's not. I love the fact they gave it 4 weeks. And now I'm going to rewind here in a little bit, or maybe not because I don't want to make it too long. If you go through around 43 or 45 minutes into, Forex talks about how he was getting a lot of pressure. That is good. That means we're making our, we're getting it out there, right? Geez, give a freaking time. You can't just sit back and just whatever. It's good you're having pressure because you know what, at the end of the day, that's life. We all have pressure, right? We all have to give a date. We all got to perform, right? So it's great. It's great for the community. It's great that you're feeling the pressure that you got to give a date or a timeline. All right, so what's going to happen is he gave the 4-week window, right? And then he's going to have a hard date this week. He said at the end of this week, he's going to have a meeting today. Today's Monday with his team, and they're going to line everything out that he need to get done. And then by the end of the week, they're going to give a hard date. That's what Forex said on the actual AMA. But don't take this as negative. I just think we're making progress as a community to put pressure on Forex and his team to just be transparent with us. That's all we're trying to say. Everyone, if you like this content, hit a like and sub. If you don't like this content, hit that thumbs down twice. That's something I want everyone to see on the next one. Peace.